This time tomorrow, King Charles will be about to touch down with Queen Camilla for his first tour of Australia as monarch. Even though his health means it's a much shorter visit, fans like Jan are more than a little excited to catch a glimpse of the royals.
Good morning, Jen.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Come in, sweetheart.
The King and Queen en route, and no one is more excited than Jan.
Holy moly!
She collects royal memorabilia and owns more than 10,000 items.
That's King Charles. You've got to do your little curtsy as you go past. You could have a few lessons.
Do you ever get up in the night to get a dream and then see her standing there and just get really freaked out?
People come and stay. Yeah, you've got to warn them.
Jan's proud of her royal collection.
Can it tell your future?
It'd be good if it did.
A few plates as well.
Just a few plates.
She's terrifying, Jan.
There's even a spot for the late Queen Elizabeth's pets.
They all have the names of the Queen's corgis. So we've got Monty and Crackers, and there's Honey and Whiskey. And there's a Susan in there somewhere.
Jan says her collection is 40 years in the making.
And then you come through here and you can go into William and Kate's room.
It's not over.
No, there's more to see.
Every birth, anniversary and milestone calls for her collection to grow, so the King and Queen's arrival has Jan in a tiz.
Jan, it must have been all your dreams come true when you actually did meet the King. How did that go?
We actually met them in 2015 when they came to Sydney. Camilla came out of the Commonwealth Bank and I was holding the tea towel, and she looked up and laughed and she said, "Oh my goodness, I'm on the tea towel." And then Charles came over, and I had a red shirt at the time and I'd taken the sleeves out and put flags in, British flags. And he came over and rubbed me on the shoulder and said, "Oh, I love your shirt."
And would you have him here, Jan?
Oh, pop in for a cup of tea anytime.
Do you think you'd be pretty freaked out by all this?
He'd probably think I was mad too. Every spare minute I've got.
The retired retail worker is among many royal supporters, eagerly awaiting King Charles's first visit as reigning monarch.
He is King of Australia, and just the chance of, you know, having a word with him, shaking his hand, seeing them walk past, being there at that moment in time, I think lots of people will want to be there for that moment in history.
Royal correspondent and author Juliet Reardon.
This is historic, this visit. Obviously, it's the first time we will have seen the King in Australia as King.
How significant is this visit for the King and Queen?
The royal family call us realms, but what they really mean is the countries where the King is constitutional monarch, and we will be the first realm to have the King on our shores. So I think that's pretty exciting.
The coming visit marks number 17 for King Charles.
More than 50 years now he's been coming to our shores. He's swum in the ocean, he's kissed girls on beaches. He's really grown up in front of our eyes, and he loves Australia, he loves Australians.
Speaking of growing up,
he was an extremely shy fella. He was very polite. He was a great trier at everything we did.
King Charles's schoolmate, Chaz.
They got used to him very quickly. Initially it was a big deal, but it was more in the lead up to it. Once we got into the routine of things, he was just another student.
Charles attended Timbertop, a campus of Geelong Grammar School located near Mansfield, Victoria.
You could see that he made a great connection with Australia through this and through the bush in Australia as well.
Here in Australia, he was treated as just one of the boys, I think, for the first time. We didn't have that sort of deference and that doffing of cap, and he could just muck in.
The itinerary, though, has been scaled back on medical advice. Either way, a momentous moment for Australia.
I'm still thinking about the throne at Jan's home, but the royal couple's official public commitments start Monday in Canberra.